Forget the social media hype. In a world chasing likes, real power isn't about perception. It's about actual capability. True competence? That's the only flex that matters. And I'm telling you, it's never been more critical. So why does this even matter? Here's why. Most people can't even tell the difference anymore. Not between actual ability and a perfectly posed, entirely fake online facade. In this world of fakes, competence is your only signal. Because looking successful, that's never been easier. Followers? Bought. Luxury? Rented, and that impressive job title, often just inflated. Even confidence can be faked. It's just a performance. So those success signals you keep seeing, they're cheap, easy to create, barely real. They're easy to display, but they prove precisely nothing about actual ability. Competence? That's a completely different game. You can't fake it for long. You either solve the damn problem or you don't. No wiggle room. It's simple. You either make the right calls consistently or you crumble. You stay sharp under pressure or you crack. When things get hard, some crumble. Your performance ultimately always reveals your true measure. And that's why real competence, what I call a hard signal, is everything. A hard signal is trusted because you simply can't fake it. It's undeniable proof. Anyone can talk a big game, but only consistent, undeniable results actually prove what you can deliver. Deliver consistent, valuable outcomes, and people don't just notice. They start to trust you implicitly. There was a time when degrees and diplomas were solid signals of ability. They proved you put in the work, you hit the standard. You studied, you worked hard, you earned it. But today, everyone has a degree. Degrees and titles are often inflated. These old signals just aren't reliable anymore. They've lost their real value. That's why the focus has shifted entirely to actual, real-world competence. Not just fancy paper, but undeniable skill. It feels like everywhere you look, someone's screaming about their fancy degree or prestigious title. Forget the noise! There's only one signal that's genuinely impossible to fake. That's competence. It shows up in raw results, not just empty promises or slick presentations. Someone who actually delivers, you spot them a mile away. They don't need to yell. Their ability? It's simply undeniable. Competence is the only real status that actually survives contact with reality. Anyone can seem important. But how many are truly useful? When the heat is on, nobody cares about your ego. They just care about who can actually solve the damn problem. The person who actually has the answers. They become the most critical voice, title or not. That's precisely why competence is the only status that truly matters. The moment pressure hits, when reality shatters your comfortable world, your actual ability is the only thing that counts, not your carefully curated image. People zero in on the person who can think clearly, who makes the tough decisions, and actually delivers results. When everything is humming along, when things are easy, sure, hierarchy matters. Titles matter, people follow the structure. But the second chaos hits, attention snaps to something else entirely. Everyone stops looking at the title and starts listening to who truly understands the problem. And that might not be the senior manager. It might not be the loudest voice in the room. It's the person who knows how to fix the damn problem, period. Sure, confidence helps you speak up. Good communication builds connections. Those things are valuable, absolutely. A strong personal brand, it'll definitely open doors for you. But here's the brutal truth. Without real ability, without genuine competence, all those shiny facades eventually crumble, and people always notice. The brutal truth, it's the stark difference between what you claim you can do and what you actually deliver. Forget the talk. True competence isn't built on easy wins. It's forged in the fire of real-world challenges, growing stronger every time you conquer one. You want to stand out? Solve a problem. Deliver a solid result. People don't just notice that. They remember it every single time. That's how trust isn't just given, it's earned. Over time, you become the absolutely reliable, capable person everyone knows they can count on. And what does all this add up to? More responsibility, more freedom. Why? Because you've flat out proven you can handle it. Zero hand-holding required. Ready for the real difference maker? It's how people suddenly listen when you speak. If you're finding this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Once you've proven yourself competent, your words don't just fill the air. They carry undeniable weight. You'll never need to shout to be heard. Forget trying to impress anyone with empty words. People listen for one reason. They trust your judgment, period. They know your advice isn't just talk. It delivers results. That's the quiet, undeniable power of true competence. This kind of respect isn't given, it's earned. It builds slow, sure, but once you have it, it's incredibly powerful. It's your ultimate leverage. Think statuses is about constant self-promotion? Most of what you see is just a relentless hustle. Real competence, that actually lasts! Constantly trying to prove your worth? Always performing for an audience? It's utterly exhausting, isn't it? The difference? Genuine competence doesn't beg for attention. It simply speaks for itself. Build true skill, and your reputation starts working for you. It's on the clock, even when you aren't actively selling a thing. Because eventually, reality comes calling for everyone. That's when it truly reveals who can deliver and who simply falls short. And to pass that test, you've got to actively seek out new concepts, new perspectives, no shortcuts. Embrace being a continuous learner. It's the only way your competence truly compounds. Non-stop, relentlessly. Confidence, style, appearance, they'll get your foot in the door for a minute anyway. But when the real challenges hit, when chaos breaks loose, only competence keeps you standing. To understand this, competence isn't just a skill. It's the only real status that survives contact with reality. You've got the skills, you know it, but when the moment hits, where's the confidence? Looks, flash, bravado, they might get your foot in the door for exactly 5 minutes if you're lucky, because when the real pressure hits, only genuine competence saves your ass. And that's why real competence is the only status that actually survives contact with reality, period. It's forged in results, and results are the only thing anyone actually trusts. So, if it's so critical, why is genuine competence so damn rare? You'd think it'd be commonplace. We've got more information at our fingertips than any generation in history, so why isn't everyone a master? Forget the talk. True trust, that's built on results, period. So, here's the kicker. Real competence? It's surprisingly rare. You'd think it'd be common by now, wouldn't you? We're swimming in data. More information at our fingertips than any generation before us. So why isn't everyone a certified genius? You can literally learn almost anything online, often for free. Tutorials, courses, guides, it's all just a click away. Every single skill imaginable. So in theory, we should all be getting exponentially more capable, shouldn't we? But here's the twist. Instead, real competence has actually become even rarer. And the truth? It's never been easier to look skilled without doing the actual hard work. Most people, they just stop at the surface level. Here's why. Looking impressive on the surface is enough. They master just enough to sound confident, but never enough to actually perform at a high level. And make no mistake, over time, this creates a massive problem. Everyone looks like an expert these days, but real mastery, that's practically extinct. Information is everywhere. Depth, that's the first thing we sacrifice. When knowledge is this easy to access, it's tempting to just skim the surface. A few videos, a couple of posts, and you move on. And just like that, you feel informed. You can talk confidently, even sound convincing. Outwardly, it screams competence. But dig just a little, and you'll find barely anything there. No real experience, that's why. True competence demands brutal repetition. It demands practice. It demands making mistakes and fixing them. It demands you stick with something long enough to truly understand it. Understand it deeply. And here's the kicker. These steps are slow. They're frustrating. No instant results. None. No quick recognition. That's why people bail. They prefer learning new things fast. Instead of truly mastering one thing, they prefer the feeling of progress over the actual, demanding reality. When it truly counts, when the pressure's on, most people just miss the mark. That's not bad luck. That's a lack of discipline. Here's the truth. Technology makes it laughably easy to fake it till you make it online. You can craft an amazing online presence, talk a huge game, and share what look like brilliant ideas. Lie. All without ever proving a single bit of it in any tough real-world scenario. Not once. And for us, the audience, it means we can barely tell the difference between pure hype and genuine skill. In a world where everyone's a master of presentation, actually delivering on your promises becomes a rare superpower. Building real skill? It demands endless hours, often thankless, with absolutely zero instant gratification. Most people absolutely despise this. It feels agonizingly slow, especially next to the instant dopamine hit of online life. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Becoming truly competent means staring your own shortcomings right in the face. When you start any serious skill, you're going to suck. Period. You'll make mistakes, lots of them. Then it hits you. How little you actually know. This stage, it's brutal. Deeply uncomfortable. Most people bail right here, retreating to the familiar, the easy button. They settle for good enough, never pushing through to mastery, never becoming truly valuable. And that's why the gap between perceived knowledge and actual competence, it's become a chasm. Everyone's a generalist now, knowing a little about everything. But truly mastering one thing that matters, that's almost extinct. That scarcity, that absolute lack of true experts, makes genuine competence more valuable than gold. So, how do you actually get good at something? Most people immediately jump to talent or being smart, right? Or they blame formal education. They just assume capable people were born with it. or got some secret training from day one. And yeah, those things can help, no doubt. But I'm telling you, they are absolutely not the main reason someone becomes truly effective. Real competence comes from success isn't some mythical formula or whispered secret. It boils down to one thing: picking an idea you truly believe in, then relentless execution, seeing it through to the finish line. Here's the kicker: most people simply never make it that far. They'll research, plan, talk endlessly, mapping out grand outcomes in their minds. But let's be honest, it's just hot air. That critical, messy middle, that's where they fold. They lose steam, decide it's too difficult, or find an excuse to quit. They just hop from one shiny new idea to the next, perpetually stuck in a cycle of starting but never, ever finishing. But what about the truly competent, the people who actually get things done? They operate on a different wavelength. When they spot an idea with real potential, they commit. They don't just dabble, they lock into seeing it through. Not because they expect a guaranteed win, but because they understand something fundamental. True learning, genuine growth, only ever happens when you actually finish what you start. Now, the brutal truth, the middle of any project is where the real ugliness sets in. That initial rush, it vanishes. Reality kicks you in the teeth. The work becomes repetitive, soul-numbingly boring, and that right there is where most people throw in the towel. You finally start that thing. Then, bam, reality hits, doubt floods in, and the urge to bail feels almost irresistible. That's when you crave something easier, right? But hold on, that exact moment is your turning point. That's where real skill begins. Push through that initial grind, and you unlock insights, stuff you'd never find in a textbook or a YouTube tutorial. You'll sort through the fluff, find what actually works, and ditch the total BS. You'll learn how long things really take, not what some guru spouted. The stark difference between a great idea and something that actually delivers real-world results, that becomes crystal clear. You forge the grit to handle setbacks without crumbling, because that's the only path to genuine mastery. That real hard-earned competence, that's the ultimate flex today, because everyone else just looks successful. They're constantly branding themselves, posting online, talking big. Do all goals and progress updates, but how many are actually skilled at anything? So tell me, when things truly hit the fan, how many of them can you actually rely on? Very few people can step into a dumpster fire situation and actually produce clear, effective results. And this is why genuine competence has become damn rare. And wherever something becomes rare, it becomes valuable. The real flex today isn't just looking impressive. It's being truly effective in your role. It's being the person who can handle insane complexity, solve problems, and deliver results without needing constant recognition. In a world of constant noise and endless self-promotion, the individual who quietly performs well, they stand out far more than anyone who just talks a big game. True competence means you don't need to signal status. You don't need to constantly prove your worth or remind people you have value. Others will notice on their own. Trust me, genuine competence is the ultimate flex. It's one of the few real advantages that still holds its value when everything else is stripped away. In any environment, in any economy, you want to stand out? You want to be irreplaceable? Forget raw talent. Forget a lucky break. The only thing that truly sets you apart in any field is consistent delivery. You just heard the brutal truth. Now, will you actually use it? I won't hear those same excuses again. Go make it happen.